The Comelec is saying nothing is final until the 15th of November. I spoke earlier with Commissioner Rowena Guanzon and how they will screen the dozens of candidates for president and vice president.
We're filing a petition to cancel their certificates of candidacy or for DQ, disqualification. So we expect that there will be a lot of, many of them will be recommended for cancellation by the law department on the ground that they are nuisance candidates because they do not have the capacity to conduct a nationwide campaign. While financial capacity is not a requirement under our rules, we have to determine if the candidate, if the aspirant is serious about campaigning. Otherwise, they will be declared nuisance.
So,
Also, there are people who might be disqualified because they're dual citizens or, you know, they have been convicted by final judgment. So, but I have not seen so many candidates.
but Commissioner, there are many factors, no, to disqualify or consider candidates nuisance. When all is said and done, for president and vice president, how many do you think will there be on? How many names will there be on the ballot?
Well, probably at most 8. Probably. Because right now, those in the surveys that I see, there's already 6 of them. So just to be safe, maybe 8 could be in the ballot. We have to finish the list of candidates by December 15 because we have to print the ballots. We should finish printing the ballots by January because we have to send the ballots ahead to abroad, you know, for the overseas voters.
Right.
So December 15 is our deadline for the final names that should be in the ballots.
Commissioner Guanzon, earlier we heard Presidential Legal Counsel Salvador Panelo, and he had this to say after he filed his certificate of candidacy for senator.
And then, lahat mananalangin na dumating siya. O, meron pa naman November 15 kung hindi dumating yan.
So, maasa tayo na substitution yung gagawin?
Maraming umaasa na sana'y magbago ang kanyang isipan.
Pero as of now, wala po tayong info kung
Sa ngayon, ang alam ko nasa Maynila siya, hindi siya tumuloy ng Singapore. Hindi ko alam kung nagdarasal pa ang taong bayan.
So, Commissioner, you heard Salvador Panelo. He floated the possibility of a substitution until November 15th if Sara Duterte decides to run for president. Can this be done,
allowed.
Commissioner?
That's allowed by law.
Yeah. Shouldn't the substitute...
They can substitute as long as they belong to the same party.
Yeah.
Up to November 15. Same party.
Yeah. But, yeah.
November 15, substitution is allowed on the grounds of death or permanent incapacity. But they must have the same surname.
Right.
And they can substitute up to 12 o'clock noon of May 9. Of course, Mayor Sara Duterte can substitute if she belongs to the same political party, not later than November 15.
But, Commissioner, she is not part of the PDP Laban. And Senator Bato de la Rosa filed his COC earlier for president. Is there still a possibility that she could take her oath as a PDP Laban member before November 15 and still replace Senator Bato de la Rosa as the presidential standard bearer of PDP Laban?
Of course, there is no legal obstacle because we allow we are in a multi-party system. She can withdraw if she filed for mayor. She can go to the election officer personally and withdraw, take her oath before PDP Laban and substitute Senator Bato. These are all allowed by law.
But Commissioner, if she is not part of the PDP Laban and she does not take her oath as a member of PDP Laban, can she still replace Senator Bato de la Rosa?
I already said she can the substitute can only be qualified as substitute if they belong to the same political party as the candidate. In this case, Senator Bato, while under PDP Laban, it should be a member of PDP Laban that can substitute for him.
So are you seeing a lot of substitution taking place on or before November 15, Commissioner Guanzon?
Not a lot, but maybe a few. Because you can see there are some candidates that parang they're token candidates. I will not say their names. Parang they're token eh. So maybe there are still other candidates who have not yet made up their minds. But then that is allowed by law. So we have to wait up to November 15.
There are quite a number of quarters who are saying, Commissioner Guanzon, that the substitution should be taken out from the law. Do you think that should happen?
Do that. You cannot do that. Why will you not allow them to substitute? You know, even before, what do you call this? Even before our 1987 Constitution, substitution was already allowed. Remember, Senator Antonino died in a plane crash. His wife became the senadora because she had to replace him. And only the same person with the same family name can substitute for a deceased candidate. They should be allowed to substitute. What's wrong with that? Well, the people will vote for whoever they want. Anyway.
The Comelec Commissioner will be meeting on bank next week regarding the issue of PDP Laban because it has two factions, the Cusi faction and the faction of Coco Pimentel and Manny Pacquiao.
Yes, and I believe if the news is correct that the Cusi faction, the Cusi group has already expelled Senator Pacquiao from PDP Laban, of course they will not take that sitting down. It's an intra-party dispute, and which will be heard. And you can be sure that we will be listening.
And when will the Comelec come up with a final decision, which is the legal faction of PDP Laban?
Under our rules, there's no deadline for that. But operations-wise, the deadline should be before December 15. Because we have to print the ballots and we put there their parties. Diba? So ako, in my mind, it should be before December 15. We should decide this before December 15. Now, since I live here in Negros and I'm scared of COVID in Metro Manila, anyway, our commission and bank hearings will be done by Zoom. And I can still participate.
And if one of the parties is against the decision of the Comelec, this still has to go to the Supreme Court for them to make a final decision.
Well, that's correct. That's correct. But unless the Supreme Court issues a temporary restraining order against us, the Comelec will just choose one litigant. And for the purpose of putting the name of the candidate and their political party in the ballot.
And Commissioner, the voter registration, which was supposed to end at the end of September, resumes on Monday. How many more new voters are you still expecting until the end of October?
October 11 to October 30.
Yes.
I am hoping that there will be about 1.5 million to 2 million 18-year-olds that can register. That's why I am appealing to the colleges and the universities to excuse them from their online classes. And also, we have around 6 million or 6.5 million who were deactivated. They can reactivate through email to the election officer in their city. They will even take their oaths before the election officer through video. So let's say 6 million for reactivation. Even if only half of that will actually reactivate, that's 3 million. You know, you can win a senator by a margin of 300,000.
And it was Comelec Commissioner Rowena Guanzon joining us from Bacolod City. And we'll take